In the world of AI, you don't really know what to believe because everything is an illusion. Hashi Buddha Disney, everyone. Peace and love and happiness to you all. Today, something's just going on crazy with the world. A few years ago, scientists discovered the giant squid. And if you don't know what the giant squid is, it's basically a kraken. And we've been talking about these things for hundreds of years. And a lot of people believed it was a myth, but then one day science discovered these creatures to be real. What's so crazy about it is, recently, scientists are now saying Bigfoot or Sasquatch, whatever you want to call him, has finally been debunked. But how do we know this for sure? Were you there? No. Now, supposedly they found the giant squid and they took a picture of it, but I remember studying about how back in the day with the movie Attack of the Giant Iguana, or all those movies where those giant animals would attack, they would just put the camera really close to the iguana, make it look giant, and they did that with the manta ray and all these bugs and animals, and it was the attack of the giant animal. That's how they did it. And back in the day, to make misleading films, you just had to be a film director. You needed a costume, an illusionist, cosmetics. Now AI has taken things to a whole new level. Now, supposedly, there's this new documentary, not really debunking Bigfoot, but it's debunking the film of the Patterson footage of Bigfoot, which for me is kind of suspicious because I want to point out Bigfoot sightings have been going on since before the white man came to North America. It's in Native American mythology. There was a sighting in 1924 where people claimed these monkey creatures were attacking them. There were sightings in the 1800s, but almost all the pictures of Bigfoot are kind of blurry. Now, one thing I know about videotapes is they actually do expire. That's true for VHS, but would it be true for film from the 1960s? I don't know, man. I don't know. So, I always look at things as one side a believer and one side a skeptic. So, is it possible they faked the footages of the giant squid? And is it possible these people are just attacking the Patterson footage to become famous? In the world of AI, it's becoming harder and harder to believe things. But I'm going to watch the documentary about them debunking the Patterson film. And that only debunks the Patterson film. Bigfoot in general, I'm always wondering why all the pictures of him are always blurry. And I also want to throw one thing out there. These weird animal things are only so cool until we discover them and prove they exist, like the Siamese crocodile. We thought that went extinct years ago, like for thousands of years, and then we refound them in the 90s. And then once they were not extinct anymore, we declared them to be no longer fascinating. I remember as a kid, I always had a theory that Chupacabra was just a deformed coyote, and I always wanted to know if Bigfoot was a grizzly bear that was born with a genetic deformity. But that's just a personal theory. And throughout history, there's been animals that we know for a fact did exist, way more bizarre than the Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, or the giant squid. And in the end of the day, I don't really believe anything unless I see it with my own two eyes. But tell me, what do you think? However, I do have this story, and I mean, this story is like far out there. One time I was camping with these like European folks. I don't know if they were Russian, Italian, Albanian, or Hungary, but they were from one of those places. And there was this old couple, and I could hear the wife outside of the RV going, Huey, make sure when you leave the camper you wear a shirt. And he's just saying something in his language. I'll do whatever I want. And he leaves the camper to get some wood. And then we all go back home after we're done camping. And we had a groovy time. And as soon as we get home, one of the relatives was like, hey, come inside. You're not going to believe this. There was a Sasquatch sighting where you guys were. And we all get down and we're watching the television and all of our jaws drop. And the wife looks at her husband and says, you see, you walk outside without wearing a shirt and everyone thinks they've seen Bigfoot. And one of the cousins grabs the phone and goes, hi, yeah, that wasn't Bigfoot. That was my uncle. He left the camper without wearing a shirt. Oh, no. This happens all the time. Thank you. Bye. And this story is just like groovy. Like, isn't that like far out there?